This is the 18th season of Bass Talk Live. With your host, Matt Pangrath. BTL is brought to you by Lowrance, Bass Cat Boats, AFCO, Duck It Fishing, Strike King Lures, Sunline, Big Bite Baits, Spro, X-Zone Lures, Gamakatsu, The Bass Tank, Denali Rods, and Pro Guide Batteries.
PTL, coming at you!
Good Monday, everybody. It is Bass Talk Live, where we are going to talk about bass fishing. And we are in full swing here. Got a lot of stuff going on. Buddy Gross getting his second Elite Series victory, this time doing it in Florida. And yes, I did look at my DMs. I did look at my messages and comments. And I do realize that he owes his victory in part, his 77 pounds, 11 ounces in part, to the Carolina rig. I know DeMarc Jeffries there. A lot of Carolina rig action going on. I got a great guest next to me sitting in the studio, someone that I would consider a really good friend, and a Bassmaster Classic qualifier, and that would be none other than Norman, Oklahoma's own Jared Miller. Jared, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Matt.
Very special edition of Bass Talk Live.
Bass Nation night. Morning.
Yeah.
Morning.
Well, we do this in the morning. As of now, I'm sure it'll change. But it is the Bass Nation special on BTL today, and we've got a really cool show. So we're going to dive into this. The Bassmaster Classic kicks off, what is it, 9 days now? 10 days? 9 or 10 days?
Yeah.
And
close.
They send 3 Bass Nation qualifiers to the Bassmaster Classic every year. It just so happens that Jared Miller finished third in the Bass Nation Championship that took place on November 3rd through 5th last year on the Washita River in Louisiana, and finished third, and the top 3 go to the Bassmaster Classic the following year, which is coming up on Lake Hartwell. So those 3 would be Matty Wong, Taylor Smith, and Jared Miller. And today we're going to talk with Jared about his journey through the Elite Series in the past, and then kind of returning to competitive fishing, how he ended up there, making the Bassmaster Classic. And then we're also going to bring in Matty Wong and Taylor Smith. So at one point during the show today, we will have all 3 of the Bass Nation qualifiers to the 2022 Classic on the show, and something that is very near and dear to my heart, but something that I'm looking forward to. Are you ready to go, Miller?
I'm ready. Let's do this thing.
When are you headed down to the Bassmaster Classic?
I'm going to try to leave bright and early in the morning and beat the weather. We're supposed to have some nasty stuff coming through, and I'm going to try to get out in front of it.
All right.
Yeah.
So did you happen to follow the Bassmaster Elite Series this past week, or are you too busy getting ready? I know that you had
just got a new boat, trying to get it all organized, break it in. Did not watch any Elite Series stuff. Sorry.
How did that work with you? Because you fished the Open on the Kissimmee chain,
right?
Out of your what year boat?
14 Elite boat.
That you fished the 14 and 15 Elite Series seasons in, and then got in between then and now, you got a brand new boat in.
I haven't even put my trolling motor in the water yet. Don't know if it spins. So hopefully it'll work when I get to Hartwell.
What do you wise, boat wise, everything? Just kind of break down what you're doing in 2020.
Still in a Skeeter. Love the Skeeter. Still have the Yamaha on the back. It's spraying spanking new. Love it. But I have switched. I ran the Yamaha wrap for years, switched it up, and got a new main sponsor, GSM Outdoors. It's a hunting conglomerate. They own a whole bunch of different hunting companies, but they recently purchased Gary Yamamoto, and so I have a big Yamamoto on the side of the boat. Pretty excited.
Are you excited to get back in the game? It's been a couple of years, obviously well known for... It's weird. You get these guys in fishing, Miller. Do you not agree? You get guys in fishing. Well, Rojas, everybody who sees him wants to talk about frog fishing. It's the only thing he can do. He can catch a frog and he can catch a bedfish. You want to talk to Zell Rowland. All it is pop bar. If he's not on a pop bar, it's nothing. Peter T, Carolina rig, the Petey rig, the T. You can go through all these guys that have a thing, and it just so happens that your thing is when
Not
you went
fishing.
below the dam on the Alabama River, and the water was dropping. You got the thing stuck on the rocks. I mean, it's got like over 1 million views on it. Like, you still get recognized and known for that.
Every time I go fishing.
Does that bug you? You're like,
No.
hey, like, I mean, dude, I can do other things besides run sketchy stuff.
No, I would do it again tomorrow. I'll do it at the Classic if I can find a 8-pound spotted bass up in the dam like that. But what's crazy is getting to that point was way sketchier. That's what people don't realize.
What'd you have to do to get to the point?
Just jumping waterfalls, stuff we probably shouldn't have been doing.
Did you have any idea that was down there when you were doing it? Or?
Yeah, I mean, you could look at Google Earth and see we were driving across a lot of dry land, a whole lot of dry land to get there. But the water was high. We were safe until I bumped into some rocks.
You mentioned the rocks. Obviously, a lot of focus has been on Florida over the past couple weeks with the Open and the 2 Elite Series there. Side note, we do have John Cruz on the show tomorrow to talk about his wire-to-wire win on the St. Johns River 2 weeks ago. So looking forward to that, getting his second Elite Series win. But obviously, I just got back from the Florida Open in Florida too. And one of the things that takes a while is running in Florida is it's kind of wide open, but you're also running through what appears to be sketchy stuff. Mats, grass, little lanes, things like that.
There's nothing hard to hit, though. in
Yeah,
Florida.
that's
It's
the
just
thing
sand.
that's hard for me to get over is like, I'm like, man, I need, but you can run all this sketchy stuff. It's nothing like anywhere else in the country.
No stumps, no rocks. It's just sand and grass. So.
And it's not like any of the tidal rivers or anything. I guess there's some stuff you can hit, maybe some shell and stuff on the
St.
St. John's. But I was looking at where the BPT is this week on Fork. It's 6 foot low. And
Scary.
Dude, it looks like those guys are fishing in the middle of Toledo Bend.
It is.
Out there on Fork with it that low. I didn't
worse.
realize there was that much timber in
Yes.
Fork.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely insane. A lot
Unbelievable.
going on over there. Alton Jones yesterday had an 11-2, and then on the first day of their stage 2, Bradley Roy, fresh off of his first BPT win, 11-11. Putting
Wow.
11-11 in the boat, and then Oklahoma's own Zach Burge, we're going to have him in studio here in a couple weeks, caught a 10-14, and then it appears that Wheeler has already caught another big one here. That guy is
He's on fire.
absolutely on
a long
fire.
time.
You've kind of had that feeling before, though. Not on like the national level on that, but I mean, dude, I've been around you. You've won a lot of boats. You've won a lot of local stuff. Like, you've gone on like 5, 6, 7 tournaments in a row where you show up when you win. When you're on a streak like that, do you like know when you show up it's going to happen?
Yeah, you kind of can feel it. You just can't do anything wrong. I mean, any bait you pick up, you catch a big one. It's fun when it's going, but you don't know how to keep it going or make it start going. It's weird, but he's had it going for a long time. Wheeler's pretty impressive.
So you're fishing all 9 opens then? Or is that the plan?
Yeah. I mean, get my berth to the Classic for getting 3rd, and then I got free entries into all 9 opens. So not paying a dime, hotel and gas, and I eat food here, so might as well eat on the road. So let's go do it.
All right, we have to let's walk through how you how you ended up making the Bassmaster Classic. And for those who don't understand the system, it's the Bass Nation, and it's something that's very near and dear to my heart. It's the
Both
way
of us.
it's the way that Brandon Polinick made it to the Elite Series when he won the 2011 Bass Nation Championship, and then kind of jumped onto the scene there at the 2012 Classic where he top 10. Other Bass Nation winners include Paul Mueller, Caleb Sumrall. There's a number of them. It's kind of weird. It's kind of hit or miss on guys who go from the Nation to the Elite Series. Some of them really stick and some of them really struggle. But each year, and the format's kind of changed back and forth. But basically, you fish your state, and we're talking grassroots level fish. You want to talk about an organization, a way to go from the grassroots to the very top, the pinnacle, the Bassmaster Classic of it. You're looking at Jared Miller right here. we're going to talk to Matty Wong and Taylor. I have to keep reminding him Taylor Smith because when you sent me his phone number, you have it as Taylor Swift.
Everybody
as
was
the
calling
phone
him
number.
That, so at the national championship, so I just typed it in.
But you start out at your state, and this is where it's a little bit muddy because each state does it a little bit differently to make your state team.
Some states have a 4-tournament qualifier. Some do a 6, some do a 1. So everybody gets to choose their own top 10 way to get their top 10.
But the whole point is you want to be the top 10 in your state on the. Well, I guess you could do
Boater
technically or
non-boater.
Non-boater, but Oklahoma
each.
does 4 one-day qualifiers. They try to pick 4 different sections of the state throughout the entire year. You get points for each finish that you have, and then they take the top 10, and that makes your state team. Then they've divided it into, is it 3 regions now? Yeah, it's 3 regions now.
Yeah.
It used to be 5. And you go to the regional where you compete as a team for total pounds, but you're also competing individually.
Right.
It's kind of an interesting scenario because you're like kind of working together, but you also don't want your buddy to catch him because if he's in the same state,
You're really only fishing against you are
9
fishing against
others.
everyone, but you're trying to beat the 9 guys from your state.
So they have these different regionals. Our regional last year was on the Juggernaut in Kansas. That is, thankfully, I've already forgotten the name of it. What was the name of it?
I don't know.
What was the name of that place?
Catfish King Lake.
No, what was the name of that place we went to in Kansas?
The snow capital of Kansas. I don't
know
know
it. No, seriously, you don't remember the name of the lake?
No.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
bad.
gonna bug me now.
That's bad. We were both there.
Not Melbourne.
Milford
Lake in Kansas, where we caught all 7 fish that lived there.
I love it. I love the lake now. It's tough, but I caught what I needed to catch.
Yeah, so
for my
so
state.
Anyway, you go for the state, and then the top finishing angler in each state goes to the Bass Nation Championship. So now you're 3 levels in, and the Bass Nation Championship has the state champ from each state, plus they do the co-anglers. So then the top 3 finishers at the Bass Nation Championship, which is what was in Louisiana, they go to the Bassmaster Classic.
Yeah.
And the winner gets an invite to the Elite Series. The back end of his entry fees, I believe the last $16,000 is paid for. You get a boat that you can run. The Bass Nation champion does.
Yeah.
They
give you a boat to use for the year.
But like I said, Matty Wong finished first this past one. Taylor Smith finished second. And Jared Miller finished third. So they're the 3 that get to go. Now, Jared Miller does live in Oklahoma. However, you see this year to year, like we had James Biggs 2 years ago who came from Texas, but he jumped through all the hoops and fished for Oklahoma, destroyed us all, went to the national championship, which that year was on Hartwell. This year you had obligations on top of because you'd like flip houses and do farm stuff and cows and all sorts of stuff. So you went and fished for Colorado.
Right.
Had to like join a Colorado team, jump through, not fish in Oklahoma. So you are actually, even though you are from Oklahoma, like I said, this is not the first time this has happened. It happens quite regularly. You are representing Colorado.
Yeah. I am a Colorado guy this year. So have the Colorado on the flag on my sleeve at the national championship, and I represented them well, I think.
Did they get money for you making the Classic?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
How much did they get?
I don't know. They don't tell me that stuff.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So you fished the Elites from, like I said, 12 through part of 15 until your appendix burst, and then took a medical exemption the rest of the year.
Yeah.
But you never made the Classic.
Never did.
5 Are you
years.
excited about this? Like, you have to be genuinely excited. You're fishing in the Bassmaster Classic, dude.
Yeah. No, I mean, I am pumped. I mean, to tell you the truth, it's exciting, but I was wanting a new boat last year. And I talked to my wife, and I was like, what do you think the best way to get a new boat is? I don't want to pay the crazy $100,000 for a boat. So it's part of the reason why I did it. Get me a new ride.
And you're fishing all 9 opens then?
Yeah. Are
you trying to get back on the Elite Series?
No, don't want to.
So then why are you fishing all 9 opens?
To make the Classic.
For the next year?
Yeah.
But you're already on the state team for Colorado for 2023.
Lots of options.
Because of the COVID year, they did a double qualification, and you qualified for 2 state teams?
Two in a row, 2 in 1 week. So I knocked them out. 2 years worth of fishing in 1 week.
Did they change the rules so that you can't do the
They haven't told me.
interstate? Is it intra or interstate now?
I don't know. State jumping lines. I don't know what they would call that.
I just remember we were all like, I wonder why Miller isn't fishing the Nation in Oklahoma, and I haven't gotten to fish it for the last couple of years just because of the Bassmaster Open schedule. But
I told you ahead of time I had a big secret to tell you. I just couldn't tell you until after it happened.
when you were going into what place were you in going into the final day
of
the national championship on the Ouachita River?
10th, maybe 7th, 8th. I don't know.
Did they send you
in order?
No. Did they pick you up from the hotel in a bus?
Yeah.
And they said, "Hey, be down here in the bus, and you have your backpack." They had a boat. They have a boat yard, and then you have the bus ride in the dark to the boat yard.
Right.
That final day. So I made the final day in 2017.
In Houston.
No, not in Houston. At Hartwell.
Oh yeah.
The one that Summerall won.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember getting on the bus that final morning, and I think I had a really bad second day, but I think I was only like 2 or 3 pounds out.
Okay.
And I remember getting on that bus, and all the other mornings it was kind of like, "Oh, how's it going?" And you're talking, but you're down to like 12 people on the bus, 12 or 13 people on the bus now. And I remember looking around, and I hadn't been nervous, nothing was nervous, and I'm like, holy cow, 3 of us are going to be in the Bassmaster Classic after today, and all I have to do is go catch 12 pounds, and I'm in.
Yeah.
Do you remember that feeling, that bus ride on that final morning going there? I'm going to ask when we have Matty and Taylor on, I want to ask them that, because out of everything that I've ever done in fishing media, everything, the bus ride from the hotel to Green Pond Landing sticks out in my mind as the single most memorable. It's like seared in my mind, that memory, going, holy cow, like, in 20 minutes when we get off this bus, like, it's go time.
Well, all 3 have that at the Classic, taking the bus. I guess we don't take the bus. We pull our boat yards at the hotel.
It is?
Yeah, I think they did.
But you don't.
That,
do you remember that on the final day of the Nation?
I don't.
How do you not remember that?
Because I don't know. I've been to 4 of them, so they kind of all.
How many
together.
final days have you made like that?
All 4. No, take that back. 3. I didn't make it last year at Pickwick, but about halfway through the day of fishing, I realized I had a pretty good bag on that final day, and I saw the guys second or first. Saw a couple guys above me running around like crazy, and I was culling nonstop that final day, and they were all staring me down. Every time they'd pass me, I'd have fish on the balance beam, and I could tell they were not catching them by the way they were staring at me. So I had a feeling I was going to move up some places.
Now you're running the Skeeter in the Classic, but you took a tricked out aluminum down to the Ouachita.
Right.
So you put a lot of time in. I feel like you want people to believe that, I'm just going to go down and fish and see what happens and not practice, but like you put in your time and spent a lot of money to get ready for this thing.
Yeah, yes and no. Not tons of money. Just, I was going to spend the money anyway, tricking out a boat to go fish for fun. But I fished a national championship at the Ouachita in 11 maybe. So I've been there before, have a little bit of history. Should have made the Classic that year. I should have double qualified for the elites my rookie year. I was that close from qualifying through the Opens and Bass Nation National Championship. But I definitely did trick out an aluminum that is badass.
Are you going to run that in some of the Opens this year?
Possibly. It's a borrowed boat, but I can get it back anytime. 17-foot aluminum, hydraulic jack plate, power poles, Ultrex, 36-volt live scope. It's got everything.
Like, does it give Keith Pochet a run for his money?
No, I saw his boat in Florida. He has a winch on the front. I don't have a winch. I need to get a winch built into the boat. I don't know what brand of boat that is, but I might be Googling it.
A winch to actually pull yourself up and over? Under
the trolling motor, inside the boat, has a hole and a winch comes out of the front. I like it. It's pretty slick. I don't know how legal it is to use in the tournament. I think probably getting out you can use it, but definitely not getting in anywhere.
What if you don't have to get out of the boat to use it?
No. I'm saying you can get out of the boat, I think.
No, you can't get out of the boat to access an area, but you can get out of the boat to
get out.
exit an area.
Right,
But what if you
so-
could access an area without getting out of the boat, but still hooking up the winch?
How would you hook a winch to anything without getting out of the boat?
Well, what if you had like a 10-foot,
Maybe.
like a push pull stick or something that had like an attachment on it that you could like reach out and
Grappling
hook the deal from the bow of the boat and then
Maybe.
pull yourself
Maybe.
for, if there's like a tree or something forward,
I mean, yeah, possibly. I mean, my thinking
or
on it,
lasso it.
you can get in anywhere. It's getting on pad to get back out that's hard. So the winch makes sense for me to get out if you have enough cable, because you can run in anywhere once you're on pad, but it's getting back up on pad in the skinny water and getting out that's hard. So I think the winch is a good idea. Maybe.
And you probably know how to like install one of those because you're
Yeah.
the handiest guy that I have
I
ever
don't know
been
about
around.
that. I did fix your chair that was squeaking.
What was that? Was that an Allen wrench?
Alan, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So
terrible.
like I don't know if you know. So that the chair you're in used to be Jeffrey's chair, and then the chair I was in, then it switched. But like
Yeah,
I don't know.
I didn't work on yours.
Can you hear that? Jeffrey's was a rather he's in shape. Like he's in very. Would you know? I mean, he's not
Yeah.
like a.
He's tall. He's a big
But
guy.
he's a big dude, and he just destroys computer chairs. So
There's
every
zero padding left in my
every
chair.
computer chair, there's like a sweet spot, like centering zone that you have to sit in. So that's on some of the studio renos that we're doing in the next 3-4 months here around BTL. New
Put that on the
show
list.
chairs are definitely on the list because Jeffrey's just destroys the guts of normal computer chairs. Not like us.
No.
But no, you are extremely handy. Like there's basically anything that's ever broken on my boat, stuff like that.
I have fixed a lot of stuff on your boat.
How do you you think people are born with the ability to be handy,
That
like
kind of
mechanically?
stuff just clicks in my head. I'm not a big reader. I was never great at school, but I can fix stuff. I have that engineering brain, I guess. I'm not sure.
Is your dad like that?
Yeah, he is. He can do anything, but he's smart too, and I'm not.
So you don't like intentionally figure out how to do it. You just can it just kind of comes naturally.
Yeah.
Are you joking with me now?
No, not at all.
What
I
are
do
so-
joke a lot with Matt because he's so easy to joke with, but
I'm not that easy to joke with.
very.
Back in the
very.
day, maybe.
You're still pretty easy.
But just as far as like when it comes to hunting, like mushroom hunting,
Yeah.
morels,
Yeah.
trailer fixing,
Yeah, I mean, I've had friends
mechanical
teach
stuff.
me. I've had friends teach me stuff like that, but yeah, fixing stuff. I have always liked doing that.
Like one of the things that you've done since you quit fishing was you flip a house every now and then.
Yeah, I did 5 or 6 in the first couple years, right when I got out of the elites, and did all the work myself. Did every speck of it.
Had you ever done that before?
No, never.
That's what I'm saying.
Just
Like you
jumped in.
never got into it, and we're like, I am so in over my head here.
No, I didn't buy the houses that needed, new sheetrock and floors. I mean, I redid the floors lightly, but not structural stuff. I did all easy stuff.
Were you ever doing that? Going, man, I wish I hadn't stopped fishing. Or
No.
it doesn't seem like you miss it at all. You've
No.
got the two.
2 little boys at home, and no, I love life right now. Got a 4 and a 6-year-old.
Are they like you?
No, they don't like to fish. All their friends beg me
I
to
didn't
take them
know that. They
fishing.
really don't like to
They
fish that
don't
much.
fish.
Why is that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's
Because you
just
have
shocking to
ponds
me.
right where you
I have
live.
a pond in my backyard. I have a dock in my backyard. They were playing on the dock yesterday, but no fishing poles. Their cousin comes over, is begging them, let's go to the dock and go fish. They will go to the dock, but won't put a fishing pole in their hand. Just blows my mind.
You've tried?
Oh, yeah. I have several ponds. I have a bunch of cows too with land all over, and I have some really cool ponds that you can drop a gold hook in the water and catch a bluegill every time, and they could care less to catch fish.
And it's not like you've been like gone their whole life fishing, so they're
No.
like, "Oh, he's gone fishing, so I don't like
No, they've
fishing."
been
Like
home
you're
since they were
there
born.
every single day.
That's part of the reason why I quit the elites when my wife got pregnant. So I didn't go back. I had a medical exemption to come back and declined it. So I've been there every night. Last night was the first night my kids have slept away from home, and my kid is 6. So they've been around. I've been around with them.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we are talking with 2022 Bassmaster Classic qualifier, Jared Miller. That's a nice ring to it.
I like that.
It's a nice ring to it.
lot.
The rest of your life, you'll be able to be called a Bassmaster Classic qualifier. And
2022.
when we're going to come back, we're going to talk to two more 2022 Bassmaster Classic qualifiers. For Taylor, he's been able to call himself that since 2020 because he has been to 2 Bass Nation championships and is 2 for 2. He qualified for the Classic in Gunnersville, but Matty Wong, one of the cool stories, West Coast, Hawaii, well documented, had a pretty good opening swing there for the Bassmaster Elite Series in Florida. I think he topped 25, the St. Johns River. But we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to get all 3 of the 2022 Bassmaster Classic qualifiers through the 2021 Bass Nation Championship. And boy, that was a mouthful. I've been working on trying to get acronyms and names out more without pausing, and I think I did
No breaths.
pretty good job of that. But we're going to take a break, and we will be back on a Monday for Bass Talk Live.
The Ultimate Fishing System by Lowrance. Your choice of powerful fish-finding tools, all connected. From sonar and trolling motor to navigation and networking. To fit the way you fish. All with touchscreen control from HDS Live, the heart of your system. Find more, see more, catch more with the Ultimate Fishing System by Lowrance. Upgrade to the Ultimate Fishing System and get up to $1,000 cash back.
The new Puma STS has been redesigned from the ground up. With the angler, design, function, and performance in mind, nothing on this new offering was compromised, and the only thing carried over from the previous version is the name. Based on the Soft Touch series hull that started with the flagship Jaguar, this new model is nimble and performs incredibly well at all speeds with either a 250 or 300 horsepower engine. Featuring a new 96-inch wide-body footprint, this hull measures out at 20 foot 7 inches in length. Industry-leading design coupled with tournament-winning performance. The Puma STS from Basscat. Feel the rush.
So, you're looking to buy fishing electronics, huh? Are you also looking for true experts to help guide you through it? Well, at the Bass Tank, you've come to the right place. We are live forward-facing sonar pioneers with thousands of hours spent learning through winning trophies, cashing checks, and just having fun. Whatever brand you need, we have it. We offer free shipping, and we have 2 financing options available. Our experts are here to help you. Call us today or visit thebasstank.com.
The new Android series is the peak of the Denali lineup and offers the ultimate Denali experience. The Android series features 36-ton multi-directional graphite combined with interlock blank technology for added strength. Each rod is outfitted with Royal titanium guides that will not fail. The blank is fitted into an easy-touch, soft-feel EVA foam grip with exposed blank reel seat. This all allows the Android to transmit every movement of your bait and even the most subtle bites. The Android series is the finest rod Denali has ever made and offers an angler the ultimate fishing experience with a limited lifetime warranty. See the full lineup of Android rods at denalirods.com.
I've made my living on the water for over 20 years.
For 14 years.
For over 23 years.
I've worn a bunch of different clothing brands over the years.
Some companies big.
And some companies small.
All of them said they were making clothing for us. But none of them knew us.
None of them were us.
Except for one.
Except for one.
Except one.
AFCO.
AFCO.
AFCO. AFCO.
Fishing isn't part of us. It is us.
The KVD 100 jerkbait. 15 different colors. A perfect combination of roll, wiggle, and flash. Increased castability. 3D eyes. Premium black nickel hooks. KVD. Tie one on. Striking lures.
Welcome back to BTL on a Monday. Talking all things Bass Nation today. The day following Buddy Gross's second Elite Series win. And I was talking with Dave Mercer yesterday after the event. And he was, getting back to his hotel. He had a couple days, and then got to get ready for the Classic. And he was like, man, I said, did it feel kind of did it feel kind of weird to you, that tournament? And I was like, yeah. I said there was a lot of stuff that was like backwards in Florida in that one. Like the guys who caught the giants didn't end up winning the event. I mean, you had Cox with an 11. You had a lot of 8, 7, 8 pounders. You had Cliff Perch with a 10. And then the guys who were doing well seemed to be kind of grinding it out. You had Hanseman, who was leading after day 3, who ended up catching him by speeding up in Florida. I think he was throwing that hybrid hunter and stuff, which is like typically not what you want to do in Florida. And then you had, I think, 4 different leaders for the 4 different days, and it was just a slow, steady grind. And the guys, you had Mullins up there, and Gross, and Hanselman, and Schmidt, and it just didn't seem like anybody could run away with it. And you'd think, oh, well, Perch has it dialed in now. Look at, he caught that big one on the first day. Or you look at John Cox, he catches at 11, and you're like, man, he's going to have it on the first. But then when it came down to it, it was kind of that offshore grass grinder deal down there in Florida. Just kind of interesting. And then the weights were way below what a lot of people anticipated with a full moon and stable conditions. A lot of the fishery across, like I had never heard of like Banana Cove or any of that stuff, but just a really interesting event. I thought that for both of them turned into a real grind with some absolute mega bags and giant bass, but kind of a little bit of a non-traditional Florida swing to kick things off. We'll actually ask Matty Wong about that since you were busy rigging out your boat and getting the wrap done. I mean, you've just had it done like a week, right?
Yeah, 1 week. Barely done.
All right, let's see how we can do this. Let's add. There's Matty. There's Taylor.
Hey.
Let's switch it like that. Let's see how we can do it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, look at that.
There we go.
Let's see if I keep clicking that, does it give it? Yeah,
That's
we'll go
it.
with
There
that.
we go. I like that.
We'll go with that right there. So this is kind of cool. This is something that I've wanted to do for the last month, and I am literally surrounded by Bass Nation royalty right now. Now, here's the deal. Matty Wong, thanks for being on BTL, Matty. Congratulations on not only winning the Bass Nation Championship, but then kicking the year off with a top 25 in Florida. You are 3 weeks in a row in Florida, still in Florida, and then headed down to the Classic. But thanks for being on BTL.
No, thank you, man. It's kind of fun. Like, the boys are back in town.
High five, all of us.
And then Taylor Smith, who actually has a jump on both Jared and Matty, is actually at Hartwell already.
What?
And he said he's on the north end, and he's got kind of a sketchy signal. He looks like he's got it handed out. You with us now, Taylor?
Yeah, I got a little signal here at this rest stop, so it's not great. If someone's live up the Tugaloo River, I don't think service is going to be too hot, but I'll do my best here.
Dude, it's working great. We've got everything on. Now, if I could just get Miller to look at me during the live show. Look, see?
I'm looking at the camera.
Have you not been reading the comments?
No.
Oh, you really? So the comments there, I guess I should have filled you in on this. The comments there on the left-hand side are
My mic
what?
was blocking that.
Yeah, your mic was blocking it.
Jared was half asleep. Yeah, it's early.
But they were saying maybe Matt is the male Medusa.
Yeah.
And that you weren't looking at me. I don't know. It's a tough crowd on BTL. But guys, we'll start out with it. Taylor, you you just decided to get an early jump and get down there like 7 days before practice started?
Yeah, I mean, well, I was supposed to leave today, and a snowstorm was hitting Montana, and if you go, it's like 6 inches of snow on Saturday night. If you try to go through Montana with that weather, it takes you 3 days instead of 1. And so we decided to leave on Saturday and get down here a little early because it was just the weather. That storm in the northwest is nasty. So
how long was your drive?
Me and my dad. 37 hours. So we left Saturday morning. We literally just pulled across. Yeah, we just pulled across the Tugaloo.
What are you towing?
Just now. So.
What are you towing with?
My F-150.
Wow, nice. That's a lot. So you fished the 2020 Classic on Guntersville. So I mean, you've done this before. Like you're kind of old hat at towing across the country for the biggest derby in bass fishing.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, but Guntersville. This is farther in Guntersville, though. Obviously, I did fish here in the Nation Championship in 19, but I borrowed a boat, and so it's a haul. It's a long drive.
So you flew to Hartwell last time?
Yeah,
or
I
you just
flew
drove?
to Missouri.
Okay.
Yeah, I flew to Missouri and borrowed my buddy's boat and used it on Hartwell.
Whose
So I
boat
towed
did
it
you?
from Missouri to Hartwell.
Whose boat did you borrow the last day of our tournament in Louisiana? Because you fished the first 2 days out of a glass boat, and the last day out of a tin can.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
I towed my glass boat. It's kind of unique in the nation stuff. You can use 2 boats, and the elites you can't. I don't believe. So I had towed my glass boat, and then I had borrowed a boat from. Man, Southern hospitality is crazy, but
No kidding.
it's a long story. But there's a bunch of people in Louisiana that kind of helped me get a boat borrowed and then tow it up to me. So yeah, I borrowed a little tin boat from a guy, a local there that I knew from my buddy that guides in Missouri, and he knew him. He's gator hunted with the guy, and so he knew him, and he let me borrow his boat. It was set up for tournament fishing, and yeah, it worked out really good.
Awesome. Matty up there in the top right corner, dude, you look fantastic, but you look a little worn out. You look a little tired. Like I feel like you've been.
Thanks,
I feel like you've been on the water for the last month, like pretty much nonstop. I talked to you actually the first Southern Open. I stay with Charlie Hartley. Charlie Hartley puts his boat in the water 7 hours early. We were there at like 3:20 in the morning. So I was sitting in the truck. Miller put in. He was sitting next to it. He rolls the window down. He goes, "Hey, there's Matty Wong." He yells at him, "Matty." Matty comes over, and I got to beat you then. And you've been pretty much nonstop since then, back to back in Florida. And this is kind of the first time you've been able to like take a breath for a day, isn't it?
Yeah, you can kind of see probably like the bags under my eyes. I'm like, I'm exhausted, man. This is probably, I mean, it is the most amount of like 4-day tournaments that I've ever done. I mean, not luckily, but I didn't fish all 4 days. But just to fish like 3 days in a row and then jump right back into practice for 3 days and then another 2 days, and it's a lot, man. Especially
it is a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Jared, like you've been, down this road, and for me to experience this for the first time, it's been pretty insane. But it's been really fun, like meeting all the guys. Everyone's been super chill. There's been a bunch of really cool fans. And like the support's been really, really amazing. More than I could like have ever asked for or dreamt about. So I think, it's hard work, for people that think like, well, you get to fish for a living, man. It can't be that bad. I'm like, bro, it's a grind. It really is a grind. As I learned a couple tricks about nutrition from Mike Iaconelli. He kind of gave me some food hacks, because you really gotta plan out your food schedule, because otherwise you just get stuck eating hard-boiled eggs and peanut butter jelly sandwiches all day.
That still sounds way healthier than what I do. What are some of the food hacks that he does? Because I'm up here looking at the Iked Up Never Give Up energy drink that was around for a while, and the only food tip he gave me with that was that it was really good with vodka.
No, it was it's kind of neat because at the end of a long day, for me, I like to cook, but if you're going from tournament to tournament to tournament, like you literally don't have any time to you barely have enough time to prep your tackle, let alone go and buy groceries and then like cook a meal. And so he turned me on to getting these these healthy microwave meals, and then adding like additional chicken protein to the meal. So like
you're making your own version
that's
of a
like
poke
microwavable
bowl,
and then getting these like healthy like TV dinners basically, and you just buy the lot for the week, and then that way when you get home at night, you're not trying to like search around for like whatever's open. You just go home, pop it in the microwave, boom, quick nutrition, pass out, wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, and coffee. And I will say he does like his sweets, so we had some donuts and some Oreos.
Wait, were you like rooming with Ike?
Yeah, I roomed with Ike.
How did that happen? Did you know him before this?
No, he reached out to me after I won the nation deal, and because he won the federation, which is kind of like the same way in, and it was just really cool that he reached out and we talked, and then he had me on Ike Live. So it was just really cool, and we became friends, and then now I think I'm going to stay with him again for Santee Cooper. But yeah, I stayed with him and Greg DePalma for St. John's, and it was a good time, man.
Was that like the Twilight Zone, dude? Like you come in the first day of the St. John's, you absolutely have an amazing day, and Ike comes in with one like 14-ounce fish. Like, what was that dynamic like? I mean, you're there with Ike and Ellie, and you're like, dude, like I just caught like 15 times more weight than you did today.
Yeah, it was heavy because they had really good practices, and my practice was like, meh. Like, I had 4 bites in practice, but I had 3 of those bites were 5 of 5 and a 6, but I wasn't weighing them. I was just like, I weighed the 6-pounder. I'm like, that's a 6-pounder. But I had to go and find some other stuff, and I was trying to find some Main River stuff, and it was tough, man. On the Main River, it was definitely tricky. And I ran back to, where I got those quality bites after day 1. I had 1 fish in the box. It was 11 o'clock, and I had, 3 hours to fish, or 3 hours. And I made it happen. And that was pretty cool. Day 2, so many boats went back into where I was, I think, after they figured out where some of the weight was coming from. And I think that's something that I need to make an adjustment with, is that, these guys, as much as, everyone wants to get on their own bite or like get on their own location, it's so crazy on how everyone works together in these like packs. And as soon as one person from a certain pack like finds out about one spot, like that whole pack knows.
Very true.
And so like that's the whole thing that dynamic I'm still trying to get used to, and also trying to develop like relationships where they're trustworthy and whatnot. And I've met a lot of really good guys, and I think that I know being a rookie, I still need to like kind of like earn my stripes in a way. But Ike and I I shared some stuff with him, and vice versa, and then Greg as well. And so it's just slowly kind of like developing those relations. But anyway, day 2, I went back into that stuff, and there was literally like 10 boats back there, where there was 3 boats the day before, and I was like, wow. Where were you guys in practice?
Talking with 2021 Bass Nation national champion Matty Wong, along with second place finisher Taylor Smith, and in studio third place finisher Jared Miller. The one thing they all have in common is that they are all fishing in 10 days in the Bassmaster Classic on Lake Hartwell. The only thing that they don't have in common is it's the second time that Taylor Smith has done this, qualified for the 2020 Bassmaster Classic on Gunnersville, right? The legendary Lake Gunnersville. What was that experience like the first time? And do you think that gives you an edge, knowing what to expect when these guys are about to go through the week-long ringer and have no clue what they're in for?
What it was like, I got my teeth kicked in, so that sucked. But it's a busy week for sure. I don't know that it'll give me an advantage over last time, to be honest with you. It's you against the fish regardless. You do gotta cancel out a lot of the noise, but I feel like I did that last time. It just didn't figure them out good enough. I don't know. Yeah, it is a crazy week. Just to preface, I think Jared, you've probably been, I'm assuming, at least to like the expo and stuff. It's a busy week. A lot of meetings, busy. A lot of like, you get a lot of texts and emails to be here, there, another place by Bass throughout the week. So it's hard to keep up with the schedule. But I don't know if it gives me an advantage, man. It's just you still got to go out and catch them, and we make the right decisions on the water. It's what's weird about it is the pre-fish is so far before the Derby that I think not having experience this time of year on the lake hurts, just because it's hard to a lot changes this time of year in a week, and so
So we practice.
That's kind of a big
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
And then we practice again.
Wait, like this Friday?
Wednesday.
This Friday.
Today's Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This Friday,
it's
Saturday,
a full
Sunday,
a full
we
day
practice
drive.
again Wednesday, and
Yeah.
then we have a day off Thursday,
off.
which is media day.
Yeah.
But Monday and Tuesday, Taylor, do you know what's going on? Or Jared, do you know what's going on Monday and Tuesday? I know we have off days.
I'm sure
You
they'll
have a
us
you have a media day.
And you
I know
take
that.
Boat.
banquet. Yeah, we got to take our boats to the yard.
And then the final practice day, like you have a couple days off, and that's when everyone grills you and you do the media day stuff. But then you have like a day. Is it right the day before or no? 2 days
The day
before.
before is off.
Yeah, so
Wednesday.
that's when you have it where you guys do like
Wednesday.
the run through where they do the takeoff and you have to be back by the specific time and all that. So, I mean, when you guys are out there just grinding, doing what you want, trying to figure out the fish, I mean, it's like 4 or 5 full days
Ahead.
because you'll have like a media guy with you on that practice day or the last practice day or an observer. And I mean, you don't really get a full day. I've observed a couple times during that. And, you know, sometimes you get guys who are just freaked out and sometimes you get guys who just kind of run through the motions and want to see, but very rarely is that day like a full daylight to dark.
But they
deal.
groomed us at the national championship. It's pretty much a mini classic, I would say. Wouldn't you guys think? Is that what you think, Taylor?
I've never been there, bro. Ask Taylor.
I was asking the bottom screen.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it helps prepare you for sure.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like
Routine.
for everyone, all your viewers at nationals, like you get bussed from the hotel to the boatyard and back. You don't tow your own boat anywhere. It is very structured. So in that regard, it's the same. And the same here, you can, a lot of guys will stay on the lake and then tow their boat back to the boatyard, but then you unhook it and unless you have a Toyota, they hook up to it and take you into the arena. So it's super structured. Just like Nate, yeah, you hit it on the head. They do kind of groom you a little bit.
Just a
Nationals.
mini
John
version.
Stewart does a great job. Yeah. The national championship's cool. I mean, that you guys experienced it, but it's just a cool tournament.
I fished the Washita River in 12, maybe a national championship.
Was that the one Horton won?
Yeah, Jamie won it, and they brought 50 boats, 50 skeeters for us to use, brand new.
That's so crazy.
Didn't take our own boat. It was crazy.
It's like lower unit. Bye. It's okay. It's a rental.
All of them are gone.
Did you know that one time Jamie Horton found a bobcat swimming across the river?
No, it was a pig. I told you this story.
No.
Oh, okay.
He's
Let's
put
hear
a pig in the rod box.
Okay, that was my story about him.
And he found this bobcat that was super tired and he plucked it up like by the back of the net and he stuffed it in the live well.
I'm not
And he was going to
surprised.
take it home. He said its paws were so fat that he could barely get the lid closed. He said when he went to check on it, he said he opened up the live well lid. He said it was like one of those Jack in the Box things. He said this frickin' bobcat came like 7 feet out of the live well, bounced once on the front deck, and was gone.
Well, he caught a pig swimming across the river in Alabama, hog-tied it, put it in his rod box, took it home, fished all day in 100-degree heat with it in his rod box, and then puts it in a pen and raised it at his house.
Same with
A wild
deer
pig.
and fox. He had I think fox and
he is country.
raccoons and all
I
sorts
love
of
him,
stuff.
but he is country.
We digress anyway.
Yeah.
Taylor, would you say that the biggest oh wow moment? Obviously, everyone talks about rolling into the Classic on your first day, but I've kind of been in the stands. Obviously, haven't walked through with the guys, but when they do the walkthrough and take you into the arena for the first time the day before and just say, "Hey, this is kind of how it's going to go down," and hopefully Taylor isn't completely frozen. Hopefully, you can hear this still. But would you say that's kind of the first like, "Oh, welcome to the Classic" moment? I think
He's in that
him.
Montana snowstorm.
I know. He said he was at the north end, or wherever he was driving was in a bad cell phone. Maybe he can
something really cool out his window.
Yeah, for sure. That's
oh,
not
there he
Holland.
is. You there?
We had him.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
I'm
that
back.
brings me back to
I'm back.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yep. Is that the first oh wow moment?
Okay. Yeah, that's an aha moment. When you come into the stage and there's all the fans, that's the real moment. You get a little nervous getting ready to go in there. It's a lot. I mean, it honestly, yeah, when they take you through the walkthrough and they show you the video of the Classic, it's like a pump up video, and they do the audio checks and stuff. Yeah, and Mercer's there. It gives you butterflies for sure, because it's a dream come true for most of the people there, and me included. I mean, it's surreal, and it doesn't really hit in till after it happens, but yeah, it's pretty neat. Gives me chills thinking about it.
All three of you guys seem to be, I mean, sometimes you get to know the guys from the tournament, but you guys seem to become like pretty decent friends over the course of this. Like Miller's always like, oh yeah, look, I was talking to Matty or Taylor and so-and-so.
We got a group text.
Like you guys all seem to be like the three amigos going to the 2022 Classic here. Fair? Like you guys talk to each other regularly. What was it like backstage after you all three had qualified? I mean, was that cool? Were you guys looking at each other going,
we're going.
Holy cow, we did it.
Yeah.
They were both like, they're like, all right, Matty, so this is how it goes. And I'm like, wait, what? What is this? And they're like, and then Taylor's like, yo, so they're going to do this and this and this. And John Stewart's just like, they're like, And Jared's like, yeah. And then you're going to do this and this. And I'm just like, guys.
Yeah, that is true. It was funny.
It was pretty classic.
So how does that work? So you qualify. Let me see. Go ahead.
Matty, after we were backstage, he's kind of in an aha moment, like couldn't believe he won. And he goes, dude, do you even know where the Classic's at? And I'm like, yes, I know where the Classic's at. I was just like, couldn't believe that he didn't know where the Classic was at. But I'll never forget that moment. I don't even know where the Classic's at. Where's Lake Hartwell?
For me, it was just like, I'm like, what are the odds, So I was like, obviously I would love to go and win the whole thing, but just the fact that I made it to nationals was a big enough of an achievement for myself. And so like, it's something that I try to constantly talk about is like checking expectations. And so for me, it's like, obviously I have goals set for myself and like wanting to like do this and that, but like I have to also keep that in check. And sometimes if I put like the carriage before the horse, I kind of get lost in it. And so it was kind of funny. I didn't even know where the Classic was.
Look ahead. Yeah.
What are all three of your expectations for this thing? Is it a failure if you don't win? Like, is there a guaranteed failure for at least two of you? Because there can only be one winner, and it is the Bassmaster Classic. Or is this an experience deal?
We can just do 1, 2, 3 again.
I mean, seriously, run through it. I'd be interested in seeing what each of you expect now. I mean, knowing that you're going to be on the water on Friday going into this thing.
I'm just excited to be there. I've tried a long time.
That's total BS.
No, I am.
That's total BS. You're the most competitive person that I know. You're the most subconsciously competitive person that I know.
But I keep it low. I don't talk about that.
Dude, this is BTL. You can't BS us here. Like, you're going to be ticked if you don't win.
I want to hold one of Big Dave's trophies. That's my goal. I'm friends with the guy that makes all of the elite trophies, the classic trophies, any trophy we are trying to win. All those plaques we got at the national championship, I'm friends with the guy that owns the
MTM recognition.
Yeah.
Dave Smith used to fish the Elite Series. Everyone calls him Big Dave.
Big Dave.
Throws a drop shot on a bait caster 99% of the time.
That's his thing. I want one of his big giant trophies to go. A real one, not one. He'll give me one anytime. He's like, I'll make you an elite trophy. That's no big deal. No, I want to earn one, Dave. It's different.
So, but based on what you're saying, not a failure if you don't win.
I'll be back. It's not going to be my only one, but I want to win.
All right, Matty, you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like a win would be, out of this world and like all the things that I would have ever dreamed of. Obviously that's what I'm shooting for and what I, hope happens. But regardless of the fact, it's a once in a life, or except for Taylor, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. But my goal, like one of my goals for the Elite Series is to requalify for it. And hopefully I can be in the same position as Taylor and being able to roll into a second one. So, taking it for what it is, it's already a dream come true that I've already made it this far. And the fact that a Classic was like the extra like cherry on top, to be able to go and do this thing. And it's just crazy to be able to go and fish against like some of my heroes. And yeah, Taylor, yeah, Jared, you guys are my heroes. You know, and to be able to go and be able to go and compete, and then to, and also to be able to go and meet a bunch of fans and stuff like that, I think is really cool. Because I think that being at the Classic, being at the weigh-in, being at the expo, or hopefully I don't have to go to the expo because
you want to meet as few fans as possible, Matty. Trust me on that. I've never met a Classic qualifier that's happy to be at the expo on Sunday.
No, I'm saying, that's why I said, like, hopefully I'm not at the expo, but I'm just saying, like, I think that that's the best thing for the sport.
Mm-hmm.
is that when fans can go and meet the anglers and actually interact with us, because otherwise we're just right now like either on Instagram or on, or just they see you on TV, and then like if even if you get featured, otherwise you're just a name on the roster. And so I think that that's such an important thing, and why I think Bass on a whole, when they still doing their weigh-ins and all that stuff, is so valuable for the sport, because you're actually able to be there. Like, dude, yesterday, or was it yesterday, the day before? All the days are blending. But when I watched Buddy Gross hoist a blue trophy, that was the first time I ever watched a weigh-in. And I've never watched an elite weigh-in ever, and it was cool to go, and I actually like took a photo with Buddy and congratulated him. And I did it. I didn't have my jersey on. I just went there as a fan, and it was cool because there was a few hundred people there. And I'm like, in California, like at a weigh-in, you'll see like the girlfriends, the wives, and like a couple kids running around. But it's like I haven't, the most people I've ever seen at any weigh-in was like at the regional championship, where it was just basically all the guys that I was fishing against. And
the Classic's gonna blow your mind,
dude. My mind's already blown, like fishing in Black Cup, bro. Like St. John's, there was like already a couple hundred people there too. So I think it's just a great opportunity to be able to like gain fan base, to be able to reach out with people, and just an overall experience. My parents are coming out. They've never watched a bass fishing competition, and I'm like, this is the one to come and see. So
yeah,
I'm excited.
Taylor, you're not driving 36 hours to finish second, are you?
Yeah, you had said Jared is one of the most competitive people you know, and I think people that know me probably would say the same. But I'll be honest with you, normally I wouldn't be satisfied with just being here, but this winter I've had quite a bit of stuff go on in my personal life. My wife was diagnosed with breast cancer, and seeing her battle through that, and just being fully transparent, it's a weird feeling, but I don't care as much about how I do in this thing, because my mind has been just so focused on other things. Now that I'm on the road trip, it's becoming real, and I'm thinking about it more. But like, I didn't make it over pre-practicing because I was there for her, and like I'm so excited. Her oncologist gave her the okay to come for 5 days.
Wow.
And
oh, good.
Sweet.
And so yeah, she's gonna, as long as she's feeling good, she's gonna be at the Night of Champions dinner, and which she loved that last time. That's the stuff that's important to me right now, to be honest with you. All that said, I'd love to win. I'm gonna do my best to win. It sets up for a West Coast guy, to be honest with you. Hartwell does, and so I'm hoping for success, but it's not what my main focus is. I just it's all on Michaela for me, to be honest with you. But still a dream come true, and I would love nothing more than to host the trophy. And John Stewart says that he's retiring if a nation guy wins, and I'd love to send John Stewart off in retirement because one of us won. That's what he said last time.
Try a little harder.
Every year.
As I say, he either has a lot of confidence in you guys, or he doesn't plan on retiring anytime soon.
I just got chicken skin.
Dude, I think the key word there, Taylor, is all of it, boys. Perspective. That's some perspective right there.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is crazy how big it is, and then you realize like 99% of the world doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then even the percent that it is, you're like, well, it's a fishing tournament for 3 days. But then you think of it, but you're like, but it changes people's lives so much, and it's a weird deal if you really start getting deep into it.
Yeah.
There's so much that's put on
the trophy.
3 days of bass fishing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely a funny phenomenon, I would say, because it's like the people who know what the classic is are like, bro, the classic, and then like other people are like, so is that like when you win money when you go fishing? Like, how does that work? Oh, you win money? Oh my god! Oh, $250,000. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, when I made it, I had my boat sitting in my driveway, and my neighbor came over and was asking me about my boat, and my dad was standing there, and my 2 little boys, and my dad said, he just made the classic, and my neighbor lived next to him for 5 or 6 years. He pats my 6-year-old on the head and goes, "Oh wow, congratulations, little guy." Has no idea what the Bassmaster Classic is. I've lived next to the guy for 5 years.
Is your dad coming, Miller?
Yeah. The whole
Is he
fam's
pumped?
going. I think so. He's bringing his golf clubs. He's going golfing while I'm fishing. So.
If you guys know Miller's dad, like he
used to fish.
He played D1 ball at OSU.
Yeah, played baseball at OSU.
And then fished
ride.
every day, and then
Every
decided to make baits every day. And then just one day decided, I'm done making baits, and I'm going to go back to golfing. And now he golfs every day.
He used to be too old for golf, and now he's not, and takes all his buddies' money, I think. Plays every day.
Are you guys all going with what should the Night of Champions attire? So this is like the big deal before. So I will say this. I actually got to go to a Night of Champions in 1998 when I was 13 years old for casting kids, and I rented a tuxedo.
Oh. Are you doing that, Matty?
No, I think I'm going to show up in my sweats again.
Ah, nice.
Lisa Talbridge is gonna like kick me out. She's like, "Out!"
You don't have a Night of Champions outfit lined up yet?
No, I do.
Okay.
I think
Is
I
it
kind of
secret?
do. I need to go and get a jacket. I do need so I'll probably I head up to Hartwell on Wednesday, and then I'm probably gonna stop. I'm gonna like drop the boat and whatnot at the Airbnb, and then on Thursday go out and try and maybe find a jacket in town somewhere, which I don't think is going to be an issue. But I already got some slacks, and I think I got a shirt picked out. But
Taylor, you lined up for the Night of Champions?
Oh yeah, I got just a jacket with slacks and a black shirt and shoes with a fish hook on them. So those are dope. Michaela's dressed.
Nice.
Whatever she picked out is what I got. So I just put it in the truck. And, yeah, it'll look good since she picked it out, I'm sure. If I wasn't wearing it, it'd look really good. But she's stylish. I'm not. So she picked it out. Who are you bringing,
Miller,
Matty? Who are you bringing to the Night of Champions?
Let's hear it.
So I've been like,
you bring it because you don't have. Do you?
Uh-oh.
You're not married.
There's this. So it's funny that we were talking about this a little bit of personal life with Matty Wong. I was seeing a girl in Ventura. Before the whole win and everything, and we still like remain like really good friends. And we're like, well, let's see like where this thing goes. And we've been like still talking, through since I've been in Florida and for the past month or so. And I'm like, well, if you still want to come up to the Classic, there's like a fun night out too. And she's like, ooh, okay. And then like literally like she texts me the next day and she's like, so sends me like a couple itineraries. And I'm like, oh, all right.
You buying a ring?
What?
Are you buying a ring?
Oh, dude. Pump the brakes. I'm like, all right, I'll show you like the world of bass fishing, and then you can decide whether or not you want to.
Mm-hmm.
So she's coming to the Night of Champions then?
Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
Seth brought his
That's a
dad,
strong
I
move.
think, last year or the day before. I don't know if it was Gunnersville or last year, but like Seth brought his dad. I thought if Michaela wasn't going to be able to come, I was going to bring my dad just to, because I grew up watching bass fishing with him. That's why I asked you, Matty. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I didn't.
No, that's BTO gold right there. That might be the 1 minute replay that I tag him in social media just to. No, I wouldn't do that to you that close to the Classic. But that sounds good. You're bringing your wife. Jared?
Yeah, she's coming out.
The boys coming up too?
Yeah, they're coming. I got them a little jersey. Match
No
mine.
way.
Oh yeah, they're pumped.
that's
They've
rad.
worn them to school and stuff, and yeah, they love it.
See, these are the things, I'm talking about the Night of Champions and getting ready. These are the things that, like, Matty, like Ike, who's not fishing in it, but the guy's done it like 25 times, 20 times. Like, you guys, these are the distractions, quote unquote. But also, when you're the Bass Nation guy, like, man, you talk to the guys who have been there and done it, and it's been years since they've been there, and there are some that it's weird. It's 50-50 between, man, I wish I had just stayed in my room and forgotten all about it, because if I had won or done well, it would have led to more in the future. Like, it would have been, I enjoyed it too much, and I feel like I didn't focus on the fishing, and therefore I didn't take advantage of the opportunity that existed. On the flip side, there's another 50% that say, man, I stayed in my room. I didn't appreciate it. It's the frickin' Bassmaster Classic. And what's going to happen is going to happen. I tried my best, and I wish that I had drank it in and had really enjoyed it and really immersed myself in everything that went on. And that's my only regret about it. And it's just weird how it's individually. Some people wish they had gone full on the fish hooks on the shoes and the Night of Champions and the media event. And other guys wish they just hermetized themselves in their room and focused on the fishing.
Everybody's different.
Yeah. I think it's a part of it.
Hey, isn't Ike fishing this thing? I thought he won.
No, he just made the
Open.
Elite Series.
Is that
he just
not-
made the Elite Series.
He's not in it.
He didn't win it.
Oh,
He
I
didn't
thought he
win it.
won
We didn't win an
I thought
Open.
he
He
won
did
one.
that a couple years ago, but
Oh,
not this
okay.
year.
Yeah, I don't think.
Okay.
He's in it.
All right.
He's going to be
Sorry.
just a
I thought he
bundle
won
of
one.
joy for 3 full days at the expo.
Probably good. He did good last time it was 18. It would have set up good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
hard
the
to
last thing, and then we'll let you guys go, because Matty, I know you got stuff to do. Taylor, you got to get in your room. Jared, you got to hook the boat up and go. But does this thing set up well for each one of you? Miller, does Hartwell set up well for you? Do you think you'll be able to fish the way you quote like to?
I think if I stay north, it's the way I like to fish. If I go south, you guys can have the trophy. It's over my head. I can't do the blue back, clear water stuff. So if they're biting north, I'll have a chance.
Matty, you're a West Coast guy. I've seen your box of mega bass that you've been pimping.
Yeah.
There's like a 500 of those things in your mega bass box. It's insane.
Wow.
Have you seen it?
No, I have not.
He's like, oh, just restocking a few jerk baits.
I
and
bought
it's
my
like
first-
entire 3600s. Just, I mean, you can't even hardly close the lid. It's just brand. It's all like all the Japanese, like Wagasagio X2 shad pattern number 7 matte finish.
I bought my
Yeah, you
first
nailed
mega
it.
bass jerk bait last week.
You bought your first one?
First mega bass jerk bait last week.
Dang, dude.
All right.
Welcome to
Sorry.
the club.
Is it
Yeah.
your style? Like, you like this style stuff?
Yeah, I think that the way, I didn't get to go up and pre-practice. I was immersed in trying to, I don't know, like tighten up my life and figure out what I was doing. But, just doing some research and whatnot, just being a deeper clear water reservoir with bigger bait fish in it, just knowing that, big bait could play, knowing that deep water is going to play, that finesse games are going to play, all those different things. Like I don't know. I feel like Taylor said, it's a West Coast strength. A lot of the fisheries that we've been fishing for a while are deep, clear water reservoirs. And, I'm excited. I'm excited to have a few spinning rods on deck. I'm excited to have a big bait on deck. Just a couple things that I just wasn't able to do in Florida. I tried doing the light spinning rod, and I lost a fish that probably would have had me in the top 10. But lessons learned. Don't throw 8-pound tests in Florida. It's all good. But yeah, I think it is setting up the way that that I like to fish. But the only thing I'm a little concerned about is the weather, just because I know that Hartwell or South Carolina could flip during this time of year really quickly, where we can have really nice stable conditions in practice, and then like a cold front and just screw everything else up. So I don't know. I'm excited.
Taylor, you kind of mentioned before, like this might be your jam. He'll be back in just a second.
Yeah, just stand by.
No, maybe not. If we don't
Yeah,
have Taylor.
and I should preface it with Hartwell sets up like anyone likes to fish, to be honest with you. You can do.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Got me?
Yeah, you're good. Have at it.
Okay. I should preface that. Hartwell sets up like anyone wants to fish, to be honest with you. Like, it's 960 shore miles, and you can fish in 1 foot of water, or you can fish in 50 foot of water. So, I like doing it all. I love fishing grass, and I love fishing deep, clear water. So the big thing here is, I think for me, going to be focusing on one section of the lake and getting too spread out. But it does set up like West Coast lakes. So yeah, I mean, it's exciting. But like I said, you can catch them on a spoon in 50 foot of water. You can catch them in 1 foot of water on a chatterbait up a creek. So however because of that, it's huge. So yeah, it sets up how anyone likes to fish, I think. We'll see how it goes.
I agree.
Maddie's probably going to be throwing a big glide bait, I imagine.
I do have one more question. It's the last question. All right, you roll up to your starting spot, day 1 of the Bassmaster Classic. Who is the guy you least want to see there? What are the Johnson brothers, Greg Hackney, or Jason Christie, or Gerald Swindle?
I've fished against Christie my whole life. I don't want him. I want him at the dam fishing in the clear water.
You don't want to be around him?
I don't want to be around him ever.
Least guy you want to battle for water on the first day of the Classic, Matty. Christie, either of the Johnson brothers, because they could both handle themselves as Northern Canadian hockey players. So, Swindle, Hackney, or Christie.
I met the Johnsons and they're cool. I haven't met Hackney yet. I think I'd be if I'm around Christie. I'm assuming that I'm in probably a good spot. So
most likely around Christie. Okay, Taylor. We got Taylor Signal. We got Taylor Signal with Taylor Signal is sponsored by Chicken Wire and duct tape.
Yeah, if this is a precursor to Jared fishing up the river on Bass Live on day 3, you're gonna have some spotty service there, bud. Because I'm right where you want to fish. I think. I don't know. I guess I would pick Swindle. I guess I don't. I would hate coming in on any of them. The thing is it's like if you're like fishing neck and neck with someone, it's kind of like a cat and mouse. You don't want to get too close. You want to be respectful. And I don't. If I was around any of those guys, it would be a little intimidating. So I'll say Swindle.
All right.
Swindle fishes fast, though. I feel like I might be able to catch one behind him. Johnson.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I want to do, guys. I want to wish you, Taylor and Matty. I'm going to keep Jared Miller here, but I want to wish you guys much success. I don't want to wish luck. I hate wishing luck. Everyone says, I want to wish you luck. And then, some of the most successful luck. What does Polinick say? Luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Opportunity, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want to wish you luck, but quality fishing, gentlemen.
I'll take it.
Enjoy the experience, and what I want to do is I want to get all 3 of you on after the Classic again, because there's all these. Regardless, I mean, if you guys finish 51st, 50th, and 49th, I want to get you guys back on. If you finish 1st, 2nd, 3rd, I want to get you guys back on. Talk a little bit about afterwards about what the experience was like. If you guys are willing to do that, Taylor, Matty, and Jared.
Yeah. No matter what, we're all cashing a check. So
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
And it's a $10,000 check too.
It's the best tournament to get last place. That's right.
It is.
Best tournament in the world to get last place.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy the week. Follow along on Bassmaster.com. Social medias for both Taylor and Matty and Jared, who just recently started his Instagram profile. Very impressive. Hey, they actually had a trivia question on you on day 3 of Bassmaster about your giant fish that you caught in Florida. But we're going to take a quick break, the last break of BTL on a Monday, then come back and wrap things up with Jared Miller, Matty, Taylor.
See you in a couple days.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
See ya. Thanks for having us on.
Elite Series Pro Daryl Gleason here. My Pro Guide batteries keep me going on those long tournament days and long practice days. Always plenty of juice, never fail. The best part about Pro Guide batteries, it's the people behind the company. They have over 40 years experience in the battery business, keeping all of us fishermen out on the water longer, catching more fish. Check them out at ProGuideBatteries.com.
What's up, Bass Talk Live fans? Brandon Polnick here. And ever since I won a couple Bassmaster Elite Series events on X-Zone Lures, I've been getting a bunch of questions of what makes them so special and different. And really, the truth is, it's in the details. The little details, things like no cheap fillers in their plastic. That gives you more lifelike action, more realistic and vibrant colors. But don't just take my word for it. Go to www.xzonelures.com and check them out for yourself.
Vibrating jigs are a great choice for any time of year, and the Kamikaze Swim-On is a perfect match for any vibrating jig. Two sizes and the unique tail design gives it a bait fish profile and a great swimming action for realism. There are 17 colors. See them all at bigbitebaits.com. The Spro Little John crankbait has been around for almost 15 years, and it is one of my go-to crankbaits whenever I need a fish in the boat, so you can never have enough new colors. That's why Spro's coming out with a handful of new colors, including Pearl Shad, which has this bleached out white look, but it's got this pearlescent, really, really pretty. We've got Copper Shad, which looks amazing in the water. It's got that purple flake on the back, really, really pops in the water. And then if you want some real pop, we've got Sparkle Shad, nothing but sparkles all over this thing. And then last but not least, we've got the matte Sexy Shad, just a really different looking color for a crankbait. So you want to give them a little different look. That matte Sexy Shad is definitely the one to go with. All these colors are available in the original Little John and the MD.
Combining one of the most popular hook styles with Gamakatsu's beefier Superline offering, the Gamakatsu Superline Offset Round Bend delivers the strength necessary to target big fish in heavy cover. Well suited for braided line and heavier fluorocarbon, the Gamakatsu Superline Offset Round Bend is built using stronger Superline wire that allows anglers to easily fish a finesse worm around heavy cover. The round bend offers a larger bite area, perfect for any worm presentation, while increasing your hookup ratios. The newly enhanced Z-Bend holds your plastics on the hook longer, reducing the number of pull-offs and reducing damage to plastics. Available in 2/0, 3/0, 4/0, and 5/0, this is the most durable worm hook, designed for heavier lines that hold your bait on longer.
Preparation is key to success. And that preparation starts well before you ever hit the water. You're only as strong as your connection to the fish, and your line is that critical connection. Confidence in your line every minute of every day on the water is a necessity, and failure, it's not an option. Sunline makes the fluorocarbon, nylon, and braided lines to give you the strength to guarantee your confidence.
Welcome back to BTL on a Monday. Big shout out to both Matty Wong and Taylor Smith for taking time out of their busy schedules to jump on BTL. And I wasn't exactly sure how that was going to work out, Jared Miller. But, dude, when you guys started talking amongst each other and stuff, that was gold, man.
It's all right.
It's really cool what you guys are about to experience, what you're about to go through is something that literally only a couple hundred people have been able to experience in their lifetimes in the sport of fishing. You know, there's so many anglers who fish their entire careers. I mean, think about just Oklahoma. Think about the caliber of anglers in the Skeeter tournaments and the Nichols tournaments and Chargers and Anglers in Action and Bass. And I mean, all of these. And then you just take a small sliver of those anglers who ever actually fish a trail that potentially could lead to the Bassmaster Classic. And then to have success, to get in a position to qualify for it, is even a smaller segment of anglers. And then you're literally down to that 10 anglers out of the thousands that are fishing in the nation, and out of the tens of thousands that are tournament fishing. And then out of those 10, just 3 of you guys every year get to go to the Bassmaster Classic, and then to have all 3 of you on this year. on BTL today was really cool.
It's crazy to think about.
You think about all the highs and lows along the journey. I mean, you think about the what you did with the Colorado. I mean, you had to make a bad decision there. You don't even make the state team.
Yeah.
You go to Milford and you don't decide to fish the dam on day one. You don't make the state team.
No.
You go to the national championship and you don't decide to start slow rolling a square bill down, some laydowns. You don't make the classic.
Yep.
So to get through all of those steps, like I said, you're there, but there is one more step.
There is the final step. We'll see if I can make it all happen. It's been a long road, a long haul to do it the way we did.
2 years?
Yeah. It's a 2-year process. So it's really crazy to think it all played out this way.
It's just the first time you've done. It's the first time you've co-hosted BTL. Have you been on before?
I've been on several times. Yeah,
but not co-hosted. Someone said that Ike is fishing the kayak classic. I know he won a kayak event. I know that would be something very Ike-and-only for him to still manage to get on the classic stage. And I think if he's in it, he would have to be the odds-on favorite to win the
definitely
kayak classic. I don't know. I was trying to Google that during the commercial break to see.
What lake are they on?
I don't know. I was trying to do that. They always bring him out before on like days 2 or 3 or something. And there's a couple big names getting in the kayak business now where I think
those kayaks are impressive.
I think they're making some decent money too, through the tournaments and through some of the sponsorships and stuff. So
it's crazy.
So what's your schedule? When exactly are you leaving?
I'm leaving in the morning. So got the boat all packed, ready to hit the road. I'm taking my wife's car, not driving the big dually all the way out there. And my wife and kids are flying in and riding back with me. So taking her car. And I was messing around with her. I told her I talked to Skeeter last week, and I have to wrap her expedition. And she was not real happy. She did not think that was a funny joke.
That's what I said. It was a joke.
It was a joke, yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and do something that you really badly need.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to throw out your Instagram handle.
Yeah. Bump it up a little bit.
The first post, I will give you this, was January 28th.
I'm a newbie.
And you had not learned the captions yet later in the day you did learn captions.
Well, I wouldn't say it's
But
me, so.
JM Fishing 11. JM Fishing 11 is your Instagram handle. Go ahead and follow Jared Miller. And
Hit me up.
Are you going to be doing all sorts of crazy? Or you're not going to be doing all sorts of crazy behind the scenes stuff on that?
I might.
What? Do you even know how to go live on Instagram?
No,
Do you know what an
idea.
Instagram story is?
No.
A reel?
No, none of that. I know what Facebook is. I don't know what Instagram is. No,
So
nothing
you're
about
just
it.
the opposite on it.
Yeah. But I might do all that stuff. You don't know yet.
All right. We have a really good show this week coming up. We have John Cruz, who led Wire to Wire a week and a half ago on the St. Johns River to get his second Elite Series win of his career. He's going to be on the show tomorrow, breaking down, talking about everything that went on in that week, and then also compare and contrast. He was genuinely ticked off about his performance on the Harris chain. But, man, he's got a blue trophy next to him.
Couple of them.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about how that went down. And then on Wednesday, also today, I think is the second day of practice for the National Professional Fishing League. A lot of stuff went down on that last year, Miller. Both me and you know anglers who fished that event, and they had a really good, what I thought was a really good regular season, made household names out of anglers like Keith Carson and John Sokup.
Yeah.
Guys won, over $100,000, multiple wins, and they go into the championship, and all of a sudden it's canceled.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a one little sentence thing about how it was canceled. And then there was all sorts of rumors flying around about it. Fledgling league, first year, canceling the championship.
Yeah, not good.
Not a good sign.
Still around.
But that's the
Still
thing.
Kicking.
They came back. There is no championship this year. They're still doing the live coverage. I think they still have almost a full field competing. They still have some big names in that, including Sokup and a number of other names. And so I got a hold of Brad Fuller, who's one of the guys in charge of that. And I said, I'd really like to get you on the show before they kick things off on Cumberland. And I said, I can kind of give you a little bit of heads up, but man, I said, I can't really have you on with the preview without saying kind of what the heck happened with the TMPFL because I know Mark had invited him on and they just really hadn't done many interviews about it. And he said, dude, he said, listen, he said, I respected the way you guys handled it last year. You just said, hey, we'll leave it alone. No conjecture, no rumors. He said, I don't need anything. He said, ask me any questions that you want. He said, it'll be fully transparent. I'll look forward to it. And I'll prime you guys for what's coming up in this upcoming season. So they have a media day, an off day on Wednesday before they kick off their season, which there's a lot of guys that are all in on it. So we'll have Brad Fuller in to talk about the MPFL, preview the start of that season, which begins on Thursday. And then also the mad scientist from the Bass Tank, Scott Palmer, is in studio. And Scott is the guy behind the scenes. You have Zeke, who does the crappie and the hype man. You have John, who's kind of the business mind, who kind of tries to keep everything together there. You've got the install guys who like know where the cable and wires go. And then you have Scott. He's the mad scientist. He kind of conceptualizes it. He knows how this stuff works. And I said, man, we did a show on batteries. Now, mechanically inclined on a scale of 1 to 10, like if you were to say like, I know how everything works, 10, and I know how nothing works, 1, where would you put me, Miller?
Oh, it's a bottom level. It's kindergarten, pre-K.
I didn't ask that. I asked for numbers.
Oh, 1 through 10. That's a number. I was doing 1 through
pre-K is
college.
Not a number.
Pre-K, elementary.
1 through 10. Where would you rank me?
You've gained over the years I've known you, the 15 years we've known each other. I'd say you're at a 3 right now. Used to be a 0.
You gave me way more credit than I thought.
Used to be a negative number.
But Scott's
gone
a 10.
way up. Oh, well, he's through
you
the
know
roof.
Scott, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to the electronics, and I said, dude, we had Matt Looney on from Pro Guide Batteries. Are you running Pro Guides?
I have Pro Guides. Yeah. I got the sticker on the boat and have I'm running 3 lithium Pro Guides and 2 31 AGMs. I'm excited this year.
Yeah, you're decked out.
I am decked. My boat is awesome.
Back to Scott Palmer though, and I said, hey, do you know how can you explain rudimentally like how side imaging, down imaging, forward facing, so like can you explain how that stuff like works? Like all the questions, like what is gain? What is sensitivity? That type of things. Because when it went through it with the batteries, it helped me understand a lot between AGMs and lead acids, lithiums, all sorts of different stuff. And he said, yeah, dude, I know that stuff. So he's going to come in. He's going to co-host the show on Wednesday with me. And after we have Brad Fuller, and we're going to kind of open up the lines. We're going to have some Bass Tank giveaways during that show on Wednesday then. But the mad scientist, Scott Palmer, it's probably going to be an hour and a half, 2-hour long show on Wednesday. And then we will wrap the week up with Uncle Frank. And then I'm looking at the schedule here. So that would be the 24th and then the 28th and then the 1st, 2nd. Holy cow, the Classic's.
When are you headed east?
I'm probably going to get there the day before the Classic.
Okay.
So we'll probably do shows on Monday and Tuesday. I don't know. The transmission went out in my truck for the 3rd time last week, Jared. Absolute nightmare. I was actually in line to get an oil change, and they said, pull in. Come on, pull in. And I'm like, put it in drive, and I'm like, I can't. So they backed me up into the spot. Oh, this is a nightmare story.
This is every day for Matt, though.
They backed me up into the spot. See, I'm like unlucky, but then I get lucky in the unlucky story. I get this thing to a mechanic. He calls. He's like, man, that's like a 4 to 6 weeks out. Like they don't have cores. Jasper remanufactured engines have it. He's like, let me call our other one. He's like, it's still 4 weeks out. And I'm like, man, I got Bassmaster Opens. Got to pay for all this stuff. Not the ideal time to be buying a brand new truck right now with the market the way it is. Hard to find one that you even want. And like a Chevy 1500 Silverado is great if you're going to like New York once.
Yeah.
But over the last 12 months, I've gone
a lot.
Oneida, Thousand Islands, James River, Florida twice.
It's a lot of pulling.
Alabama twice. And then this year it's 5 times over that. But like I said, the new truck was not in the budget, and it's great. But when you do it that much, it basically just rips the guts out of it, doesn't it?
It does. It's rough on the 1500s.
And I'm like, man, now I
step up to the bigger truck.
Well, 2500 would be nice.
Yeah.
It's got less gas mileage, more dollars. But now I understand why I don't need the fancy tires and all that stuff. But now I understand, why 99%. You towed for a year with the 1500, didn't you?
Yeah, a couple years. Yeah, F-150. It worked great. Yeah.
Did you rip the guts out of it
I
by the end of the 2 years?
moved on to the next truck before that happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
but now I got the Ram dually, and it doesn't know there's anything behind me, no matter what I'm pulling. It's ridiculous.
Yep. So
Crazy.
anyway, hopefully that will get. Long story short, it was 4 to 6 weeks out. I start calling around. I call the deal. I was 6,000 miles out of my 100,000 mile warranty from the last transmission that I put in it, and I called that guy back. I was like, "Is there anything you can do?" He said, "Dude," he said, "We got the wrong transmission in yesterday, but it's the right transmission for you. If you can get it from Moore up to the Tulsa area, it's like we can have this thing done in like 2 or 3 days." Now, granted, it's really expensive, and it was very expensive to tow up there, but
it all worked out
in a roundabout way. I should have the vehicle back. I rented a Camaro.
Yeah,
Thing
hot rodding.
No, that thing was scary, man. The front, it was just a 4-cylinder.
Yeah,
with
baby
the
engine.
front. Man, the back was sketchy. I did it during the icy days last week. So, all right, I think that's about all that we have for
Thanks
a
for having me
BTL on a Monday. Are you? You showed some excitement. You're a little bit excited. Usually understated, Jared Miller, but you got to be looking forward to it.
I'm ready. I'm ready to get out there and see what happens. Get it over with, I think.
So you start driving on.
I'm leaving in the morning whenever I get up.
Tuesday morning.
Yeah, not setting an alarm, just whenever I feel like getting up.
You'll get there Wednesday.
Yeah.
You'll spend one day on a nearby fishery on Thursday.
I am. Gonna go look at some bluebacks somewhere else.
And then practice starts on Friday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It'll be fun.
Thanks for coming in. It has been BTL on a Monday. We will talk to you tomorrow. John Cruz on a Tuesday coming up. Thanks for watching BTL.